How do we overcome fear and deal with indecisiveness? This is day 84 of 100 days of surrender. I missed yesterday, day 83, so I'm going to give you two topics today. Dealing with fear and overcoming indecisiveness. You tell I'm exhausted. I got up at 5 this morning and we have this amazing thing that we're launching tonight. And so I've been up since 5 o'clock, just busting my ass. And it's just after 4 p.m. my time, and I'm ready to wrap up my day and take a break. So I'm going to do that. But let's dive into fear, what it is, how to overcome it, and then what is the difference between intuition and fear, the indecisiveness that we experience. And I've had a lot of crazy, wild experiences that have shown me how to move through fear. So let's talk about what it feels like, what it looks like in the body. There's this wicked cool study that was done. I cannot remember by who or when or what. I just remember the deets of it, where they took a bunch of new people who had never done skydiving before, hooked them up to apparatuses, and monitored the fear level, and then interviewed them after the jump. So going into the jump, anxiety, fear, in the plane, while they're taking off, they're all suited up and they're getting ready to jump before the door even opens to jump. And that's when fear was at its peak. While they were still safe, they hadn't jumped yet. They weren't standing on the edge to jump yet. They were still completely safe. It was the anticipation of the jump. And then the study showed that once they jumped, like once they literally just boop, jumped out of the plane, that the fear dropped significantly and they were able to move into enjoying the process and feeling really proud about themselves. And then the interviews afterwards indicated the exact same thing. It was like, once I jumped, I was like, all right, here I am. This is great. But it was up until the moment of the jump. And that's what fear is. Oops, just bumping my table. So when it comes to our own big changes that we want to make, you're going to feel the most discomfort before you decide to actually do it. Blew my mind. I had this crazy situation in Costa Rica when I lived there. I brought out my team, and I think I might have shared this story already, but real quick, some special brownies were involved, which is not my thing whatsoever at all, but I tried and I failed. But anyway, the scorpion ends up in the doorway, and we had gone outside in the backyard and we're sitting there having a drink, just looking at the stars, talking. It's nighttime, we're getting ready for bed, and this big ass scorpion sitting in the doorway, and it sort of nuzzles into like where the door hinges are in the jamb, and it's just sitting there. So all of the girls, boom, jump in the house, and I'm the one that's like, ugh, like how do I get past this thing? Like, oh, it's gonna eat me. And so finally I get in the house. They're all standing on the couch cheering me on, and I'm the one who's got to somehow convince this thing to get back outside. And it was like, just imagine this. So my chunky ass is on a counter that's like 1.5 feet wide and 3 feet long. And I'm on my belly on the counter, looking at the door jamb, talking to this scorpion. I named it Fred because I thought it would make it less scary, trying to convince it, like, hey, you gotta go outside. Like, here's Reiki. Here's like, how do we get you to go outside? Because it was like right by my bedroom door as well. So what am I gonna do? Leave it in the house and think about it all night? No, it's gotta go. And one of the girls standing on the couch, who I love dearly, was like, okay, Dime, it's not a question of if you're going to get it outside. It's a question of when you're going to get it outside. And she's like, just slowly close the door and maybe it'll go. Like if you just really slowly close it. And I'm like, I don't even want to reach for the door. It's not like you can climb the door, but whoo, terrified, right? And she's like, again, it's not a question of when you're going to do it. It's not a question of that you're going to do it. You're going to do it. It's just a question of when. And then I sat up on the counter and I was like, oh my God, we need to talk that out. Like that was the most prophetic thing that had ever hit me in my life. And it's true. If you want something bad enough, you really, really want it, right? How many times have you said, I want to be on soul purpose? I want the love of my life. I want to lose weight or get more fit or more vitality or more strength, whatever that be. I want to start that diet. I want to change careers. What? And we procrastinate and unknowingly we sabotage ourselves. So It's not a question of if you're going to do it, it's just a matter of when. And so my trick with my fears, and like lately, my fears have been, well, I discovered a limiting belief. Fuck, man, that I'm afraid to outshine people. I have a crazy weird childhood. I talked about this in another video where my sister is just so gorgeous and so talented. And she was the baby, and my mommy's like world. And I wasn't allowed to outshine her because with that came judgment, persecution, whatever. So I sabotaged myself for a long time, still unknowingly, up until just a couple of days ago. And I was like, oh, all right, I'm ready to like let my body shine more. I'm very comfortable and I love my body, but it's been losing weight lately on its own. And I'm like, you know what? I'd love to let it shine. I'd love to give it the opportunity to shine, which means the discomfort of probably doing a little bit of cardio. Gross. I'm not a cardio fan. So it's just the discomfort of it. And the fitness club that I go to is insanely busy. And I get like a little anxious in big crowds. So I always go really early because it's quiet and then I can do my thing and get out and I don't have to deal with it. So choosing to add cardio in the evening when it's busy is a massive discomfort for me. This might not sound like a discomfort for a lot of people, but uh, there's a lot of beautiful people there. And I don't want to have my chunky bum trying to like gasp for breath while doing cardio, right? So it was this massive fear that I wasn't even aware of. And I was sabotaging based on that limiting belief. And so I was sitting with it and I was like, all right, just do it. The whole parachute thing, the whole skydiving thing, like, just do it. Just do it. As uncomfortable as it's going to be with your schedule, with the actual cardio, like, I'm not a big fan of that. The heavy breathing, the sweating, the having to add another shower into my day, the rearranging my schedule and having to give up the evening of that little quiet break I get in the evening and putting it towards something that's productive. So I did. I just did it. I did it yesterday and I'll be doing it today and I'll be doing it tomorrow. Um, so it's when I look at fear, it's if you honor the desire enough, you're going to do it. And then it comes down to that indecisive. How do I do it? So this isn't really relatable to my situation, but in many of my situations. So first thing, let's talk about how to keep yourself inspired. So I'll share some of my tools. One, I visualize. So my body, I want it to shine more. I really love it. I love this meat suit. I think it's incredible. But yeah, I'd really like it to feel at its highest potential. So I visualized and I sat with like the simple things. What outfit do I want to wear this summer that maybe I wouldn't wear otherwise? And so I got really clear and I want it to be like those high-waisted dress pants with like the crop top so that just this much belly is showing, like not the whole mommy tummy thing, but just that much belly. Like I would love to be able to have like, I don't know, I'm 44, I'm just going to get older, so I might as well try to enjoy that now. And so I visualized the outfit. I visualized what it was like to get into my car and sit in my car seat in that outfit, to do my seatbelt up. I visualized what it was going to be like putting lotion on a stronger, more toned body after my shower. I visualized what type of like loungewear do I want to wear? What type of shoes do I want to wear when I'm that? What type of bras and panties do I want? Because the smaller sizes are way cuter, right? So I started visualizing and I created that vision for myself. And then I attached that to my future self. And so in a meditative state, after I came up with my vision, my desire, I sat in a meditative state and I called upon her. And I was like, all right, babe, I'm going to meet you. I'm going to do this. I'm committed to you. It's a big piece right there. So I'm in a committed relationship with her right now of letting her shine and navigating and hearing her whispers of what's the next inspired action to allow that to become a reality. So we get the vision going. You sit and you call upon that future version of you and you commit. You make a committed conversation of this is what I'm going to do. And then what are you going to do to make it actually happen? So I'm hardcore, right? When I know I want something, I'm balls to the walls. I go for it. I know not everybody's like that. So I have sticky notes up. I have my gym bag out every night. I prep my gym bag so that it's there the next day, so that I get up and it's easy. I set my coffee up so I can have a nice, easy morning. I set myself up for success for the entire day, and I put it in my calendar and I commit to it and I don't change it. Now, some of us are lucky enough to have someone to go do those uncomfortable things with. And let me tell you, way better when we have that. So right now, my person is doing that with me. He's coming to the gym with me in the evening right now, which makes it way better because then we're accountable to each other. And accountability is key. I'm going to get to that in a minute because I got something really exciting. Now let's talk about the indecisiveness when it comes about making change, or is this the right change, right? So I see with my clients a lot of indecisiveness about launching themselves into sole purpose, or do I do a dating site? Do I just go out more? Do I ask my friends if they know any single people? Like, what do I do? And then you meet someone, you're like, oh my God, I don't know. And so there's one big key factor that I think we don't realize. The difference between your gut feeling, hear me all the way out on this one before you jump to what I'm saying. Your gut feeling and your intuition are not the same thing at all, at all. So we've got fear, this fear operating mechanism. We've got our compass, and then we've got our gut. And our gut is that gut reaction. And we often mistake that gut reaction for intuition. This is why it's not, okay? Your entire human is a survival-based species. Your soul is your compass to freedom, okay? So we've got to learn to listen to the soul. There's 12 universal laws. One of them is the law of inspired action, meaning when you give space to it, the next step for your highest path, boom, will enter, completely enter. It's a universal law, it's fact. So you just have to create space for that. The gut is your survival. Your gut is the thing that says, not safe, immediate, I don't like that person, not safe, or that feels okay, we can do that. And it's connected to through, I think it's your vagus vein, but I don't know, a vein anyways, to the brain, and they communicate together. They call the gut the second brain. So they communicate together to put up that alarm. So your gut will have that initial reaction. It's also where your solar plexus chakra is, and that's your power source. That's where we take life in energetically and decide to flourish with it or digest it and figure out what we're doing. Metaphorically, but yeah. So when we have energy come in, because we are energetic beings, it's going to trigger a yeah, no reaction based on, this is a kicker, based on what you have experienced. So everything that you have endured, your gut is responding to, don't want to do that again. And then your ego goes into storytelling. It doesn't say, hey, when we were 8 and we got bullied on the schoolyard, yeah, that really stung. And so we really want to work on worth right now. So can we look at that? Instead, your ego's like, they're making us uncomfortable. It is their fault. They're draining us. I'm an empath. I can't handle this situation. And it goes into panic storytelling. And it's responding to the way your gut is feeling the energy. So your gut is not your intuition. It is your instinctual protection mechanism based on what was. And if we are thinking that our gut is psychic and thinking that it can predict what's coming down the line, it can't. It can only go off of what was. So if you let it tell the story of what was and go into reaction and then shut things out of your life because of that, you're closing the door to what could have been the greatest thing, or maybe the worst, who knows? So it's only reacting on that's triggering how we perceived, how we experienced, how we felt during that timeline. We don't want to feel that. Close the door. Instead, what we're going to be doing now, moving forward, I'm talking like I'm invested into your life, but I feel like I am. Instead, what we're going to do is, oh, that's an interesting feeling. I wonder where that's coming from. What's the actual fear? And we want to dive into the fear and then make the decision based on, can we heal that fear? And what would we desire to move forward based on the vision that we have of what we want to walk into. And so if you're doing all of everything I just talked about, you're creating the vision, you're talking to your higher self, you're in a committed relationship, and you're going, that's a fear of mine. You're opening up the gateway for the law of universal inspired action. Boom. And you're going to get absolute clarity. We can simplify it hardcore. But we're not very good at that, are we? We're really good at complicating shit. So I wanted to bring that forward because I'm dealing with, all right, I'm making big changes right now. Big changes in how I'm spending my money. And I had this whole other, like I'm teaching like a masterclass on Monday about owning your highest timeline. And I thought I had it all. And then all of a sudden I got this other thing that came through and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. And looking at like, yeah, no, I am excessively wealthy. I don't have to manifest wealth. I just have to realize and take accountability, but also joy in how I choose to spend my money. And is that how I want to choose to spend my money moving forward? Would I rather spend it on savings or spend it on a retreat property? Or would I rather spend it on my employees? And right now, yeah, I want to invest into my employees 100%. So, okay, cool. Let it go, move on. And then that's going to allow me to let go of the fear and move into a higher vibration of attracting more financial flow. So we've got to commit to the story we're telling ourselves. So I'm making big ass changes across the board with my fitness routine, with my eating habits. Not that they're bad, they're actually pretty good. But I'm adjusting that for sure. I am making sure that I'm taking my vitamins and all the things that are good for my body, and making sure that I'm programming my water because it's highly programmable and drinking it. I'm making sure that I'm following my calendar fully. I am changing directions with what services I personally bring forward. And it's creating this amazing, euphoric, very high energy. I was so high all day. I was talking like 100 miles an hour. I recorded the coffee shop. Oh my God, coffee chat membership. So we have 3 memberships. Shifty Sturbers is one of them. But I was recording it and I was like, it's like talking so fast. I was like, oh my God, I got to calm down. And then I just got back from a pedicure and that just, so now I've got to get myself reset so that I can continue on with my day instead of having a nap and sabotaging. But anyways, so the really cool, exciting thing, you're going to see some posts coming out really soon. So if you're following us on Instagram or Facebook, we have a really exciting challenge coming out. So it's a spring challenge. It's called Step Aside. It's my turn. And we are taking women only into a private group. And we are doing a 61-day challenge of own it. No more excuses, no more sabotage. And in that, we're going to help you identify your blockages that are holding you back. And we're going to give you 61 motherfucking tools every effing day to create phenomenal, sustainable change and step into whether you want love, better sex, more money, a better body. Like you're going to see everything change anyways with this, like everything across the board, but you're going to pick one focus and we're going to support you with that. And it is a community of women where you will get to experience what I have the luxury of experiencing every day. Women empowering women. We don't see that a whole lot in our world. And these women that have already joined before we've even launched it are powerhouse goddesses, man. Like these women are phenomenal. They're my biggest cheerleaders. I'm their biggest cheerleaders. And then some of you who've just got hints of it have reached out and already registered. So that's really cool. So if you want to join that, we're not taking on anyone who isn't willing to do the work. So we are massively selective with this. If you're not ready, you are not ready. Don't bother. Don't do it. It won't work. If you are ready to step into your highest timeline and actually own your life and create the changes you want, then we want you. And so we're giving you homework. We're not handing any information over. You got to fucking reach out. So reach out at diamondno.com and put the subject line, I want it. And we will give you all the info there. I will tell you, it's about $1 a day. It is cheap as dirt. It is the cheapest thing I have ever put out. And the reason we're doing that is because we want we want 100 women and we can hold space for that. So our goal is 100 sisters, a big goal. And we put it at a price point that's dirt cheap. Like, I can't even believe that this is what we're doing, but we're not doing it for profit. We are doing it for community. And we will keep you highly accountable, because accountability is the thing that's required in all of this. Don't do it the way I did at all. I have done it the hard way. You get to shorten your awakening curve. You get to shorten your manifestations, the gap between where you are and where you want to be. You get to fucking shorten it, because I did it the long way and I know the shortcut now. And Sarah Rose, the other mentor, same story. She did it the hard way. We know the shortcut. So you can either take the long route or invest into 61 days of having me hand you your ass every day, because you're going to do the work and you're going to get the change. That is all. All right, this is day 84. I cannot believe how close we are to the end. Only 2 more weeks. I am so open if you want to hear any information on like healing inner child or my journey with that, if you want information on healing modalities, using your cards, learning your psyche, anything to do with the ascension process, I am here for you. I just want to offer whatever I can during the last little bout of these 100 days. So there's 2 weeks left. Let me know what you want to hear. And I love you. Thank you for all of the support, all of the private messages we get. And thank you for finally commenting on the videos. It makes my heart so happy. I'm like, yay. All right. Happy day 84. Talk soon.